how is everybody doing? How is the dump feeling? How is the youth's craziness going? How is your scholarship looking? Oof, guys. Don't go against the trend. Don't try catching any knives. It really looks like we're gonna see lower prices. Support is not looking good. We saw Bitcoin dip under 20K a couple of days ago. We saw Ethereum down to 1400. We saw Solana down to super low, close to 30. Not looking good. It's not looking good. Even the merge feels a bit ill-timed. There is a lot of negativity around the world economy, around you know an upcoming crazy recession, multi-year recession that is unrelated to crypto, but will definitely touch crypto. And since it's a risky investment for most portfolios, it's one of the first investments to be dropped, especially for our US friends. That it's also a tax issue. I mean, there are many countries in the world that haven't really caught up in the tech required to track down and make people declare their crypto holdings. I know Northern Europe does it well. Southern Europe doesn't really do it. Asia has issues. Africa has even bigger issues. Middle East has issues, and Latin America as well. So yeah, it's only the North EU and the United States and Canada. So everybody else is kind of, yeah, they can just hide their money in crypto, which is the other use case. Uh, lovely friends. We've said the bottom in Solana is 18. The under 18, I'll get scared. I think $18 is a great bottom. I think it resembles the Ethereum bottom of 2019 when the pandemic was actually declared. We dipped down to $88 in Ethereum, and then we just went up. It an equal decrease in the Solana market cap, in the Solana price, an equal impact as the Ethereum dump would take Solana down to $18, and that was our initial prediction of the top. Now, um, if we go 1 year back, we go 1 year. Let's enough with my silly face, right? Enough with my amazing taunt. And I just I made a good. I made you a favor, and I wore a black t-shirt, not a white one, just to make you feel bad with my awesome tan. I'm obviously joking. So yeah, main desktop. Let's go to the main desktop. Hello. Historical snapshot of 29th of August 2021. That's 1 year ago, lovely friends. We had started the rocket ship. We were riding that rocket ship. This is the first. We're going towards the first top of the double top that Solana did on the last 2 quarters of 2021. Our first top was early September, where Solana actually touched about $215 and was just going parabolic. In within a week. So yeah, as you see, Solana here is at $94. If we go, and that's 29th of August 2021, if we go to historical snapshots and we go 1 week later than that, so we go to, let's say, September 5th, we'll see Solana has gone crazy. Look at this. Solana has gone crazy. Solana is at $142, so it's 50% up. And if we go a little bit further into the year, like into September 12th, we'll see it's just going crazy, 174. It's just going up. And at some point, it's going to top, and we're gonna drop again. We're gonna drop under 200, and around the breakpoint, first volume one, the first Solana conference, Grand Solana conference in November 2021, we saw the second top, the absolute high, where Solana hit 264. And within that month, and when the descent started and we saw that double top, we kind of said, hey guys, are you ready for Solana at $18? And we look at this, we might actually get it a year later. So yeah, we are deep into the bear, guys. Don't Don't really try to go against the narrative. Don't really try to time it, especially with all this bad news around the world. Just remind yourself that don't go all in, don't get shaken out during the bear. It's important to live throughout the bear time, survive, and get to play another cycle, another market cycle. And I've told many of you in private, in public, like it's really, really, really fucking hard to win on the first cycle. If it's your first cycle as a crypto investor, in general as an investor, it's extremely hard to balance all the little things that you need to actually do in order to enjoy the bear afterwards. It's much harder to sell than to buy. It's much harder to actually downgrade your dreams and say, hey, I expected this portfolio to reach $1 million. It looks like it's not gonna reach $1 million, and it's gonna reach what? Maybe 200k, maybe 20k, maybe 2k. Doesn't matter. It needs to be rationalized, and actually, you need to manage to sell, secure some of that profit. And trust me, guys, I know it's fucking hard. It's stupidly hard. It's much, much, much harder to sell than to buy. I know that. Um, and the most important thing is, no matter what you do, no matter how many wins you have, the only way to really assess the danger, to really think about your investor's profile, to really think about what's reality, what's logic, and what's the narrative, and where each and every one ends and the other one starts. So you really need to be grounded. And the only way to learn is to lose money. There is nothing whale's friend or a Twitter account or an influencer or a friend or a Discord community or a mentor. There is no school, there is no degree. Nobody can prepare you for the reality of losing money. It's the harshest reality. It's the most expensive lesson, but it's the best lesson, and it's the only lesson. What you need to make sure to do is to not get shaken out. So don't need to pay the full price. Don't just go all in on catching a knife or getting some crazy FOMO on some NFT. Like, look at youths. Like, I'm pretty sure lots of people are gonna actually spend their whole holdings, all their portfolios, to secure a whitelist. You know, there are gonna be people like that. And guys, like, we'll talk about youths. We'll talk about what's going on with the Dust Labs, with Dust, with the gods, with Frank, with Twitter. Like, we should go through that. We should talk about the white paper. We should go through the white paper together and a little bit talk about it, and see a little bit the dynamics and what the choices are down there like on this layered sandwich of risk, which is something crazy, crazy, crazy layers of ever increasing risk and ever increasing degeneracy, where cryptocurrency needs to go well, for Solana to go well, for the gods to go well, for Dust to go well, for youth to go well, for the youth store and the white trademark to actually work out. So it's a crazy, crazy, crazy idea. They've done some really, really uh, good moves, and yeah, good job to Frank and his team. Like, they've been killing it. Huge respect to these guys. Like, we'll definitely need to talk about that. Definitely need to talk about what else. What else have I promised that we're gonna talk about? Oof. Yeah, as I said, yeah, the bear market reminder. It's important, guys. It's important. Just stay around. Don't short Solana. Don't long Solana. Don't just just eat your popcorn. Just stay on the sidelines and average your buys. Make sure you have enough ammunition. And always remember, if your shitcoin has gone down 99%, there are high chances that it's going to go down another 99, and then another 99, and then another 99, and then again it might bounce, but it might never actually bounce. So just just stay safe. Let's get shaken out during the bull market, right? During the bear market, let's at least increase our chances of making it, of getting that island that we've been dreaming about, where all the degens are going to be living. Uh, I see some people are talking about NFTs, about the floors on the gods, about the floors on Solana Monkey Business, even the floors on Thugbirds, and the floors on on a bunch of projects, everything is going up in terms of NFTs, and again, going up. Like as long as we view our portfolios in Solana and not in USDC, and as long as we like believe and accept that one Solana equals one Solana, like yes, sure, floors are going up. Uh, like I have arguments for both sides. I understand both sides of how you're gonna look at your portfolio. It used to be back in the day, at least until the latest pump, that people would just look at their portfolios on Bitcoin terms, and that used to be the wisest thing. And I really hope and I look forward on this coming back as a reality, where BTC pairs were the dominant ones, where the great gatekeeper of crypto was Bitcoin, and it was even the canary in the coal mine, because anybody that needed to shitcoin needed to actually buy Bitcoin, because all the pairs used to be in Bitcoin. It seems like we're fading away from this slowly, and maybe like someone who's deep into Solana can actually look at his portfolio in terms of Solana. Maybe his long macro thesis is accumulate as much Solana. So I understand that thesis. On the other hand, I understand the thesis of the realist investor, where he's looking everything at USDC. Even our European friends, even my European colleagues, we don't use euros as pairs. We don't even think our portfolios in euros. I'm pretty sure none of you are actually thinking of your portfolios in your native currency unless it's the United States dollar, or you're like in some weird country, one of those weird countries that have Bitcoin as their legal tender. Yeah, which I doubt. I doubt that you're one of those places. But yeah. What else? We need to definitely talk a little bit about Grape. We definitely need to talk about a little bit about the experiments happening in Grape, some of the votes, some of the really fun things that the DAO is working on. Like since I came back from my long snowboarding trip in midsummer snowboarding, having it, and if it's not fun, guys, it's not gonna last. And I have to say, dealing with what's happening in the Grape DAO is a lot more fun than it used to be, and yeah, we'll talk about that as well. Now, how should we do it? I see Bit here is saying Euro USD has been fucked. Yeah, it has been fucked for everybody else except the Europeans that are playing in the crypto world, that keep all their money in stablecoin, in United States stablecoin. So yeah, most of us have been fucked, but not everybody. uh, I mean it's pretty fortunate that it used to be a bummer that you're like, oh my god, now I need to change my dollars back into euros, and it's a huge loss, and I'm gonna see a 30% decrease. Now it's pretty good, pretty good. So yeah, thank you, crypto, for even taking care of that for us. By the way, before we start, have you noticed that everything that has to do with Utes, Utes list, Utes NFT, and a bunch of the Utes team, they've all had their Twitter accounts banned, suspended. So let's just show that. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, here it is. Here it is. The Gods NFT, Utes NFT, Ute list, and the old accounts, Doopies, and the based Bob, who's in the team of Ute. So as you see, the Gods suspended, Ute's NFT suspended, Ute list suspended, the based Bob suspended, and Doopies NFT. Doopies was the previous name for Utes. They changed it to Utes after after some brainstorming and understanding what really Doopies mean, and it wasn't nice to be called Doopies. And yeah, they changed it to Utes. So these are like really related to Utes. So what's going on there? What's going on? Why have they been banned? Yeah, so I see Rihu is far ahead of the curve. He already knows what's going on. I see it was Urkan or the Bored Apes Yacht Club. So Urkan was the guy who's been flooring the gods and selling them under the floor, right, or asking for that amount of yeah, that he sold a bunch of DGods before the all-time high of DGods. So yeah, like people are saying it's Yuga Labs, people are saying it's some random person from uh, some of the trademark legal teams that have been actually working with Bored Apes and some other popular NFTs that actually have multi-million dollar brands. And it could be anything. It could be anything. Guys, it could be even that these guys are LANing and they are together in some apartment and they have like 8 Twitter accounts connected on the same IP, and Twitter just reads this as some kind of click farm, and they just ban everybody. There is this chance. It's not very likely, but there is a chance that this has happened. On the other hand, it could possibly be even a random one, even something that occurred. Again, low probability on this one as well. And the other highest probability is that this was a targeted event. It was a targeted event, and we don't know. We don't know. We can't speculate. We have zero clues of what's happening. This is pretty bad for the brand. On the other hand, any any advertisement, any kind of noise is a positive thing. Even the stories that are gonna be spun about the attack from a centralized some huge corporation that's closely related to Twitter and has some kind of way of strong arming Twitter and asking them to ban the gods because they this whatever they feel threatened. So yeah, we don't know. This might scare some people. This might invite some others. So let's see how is this gonna work out. I'm pretty sure that they're gonna get their accounts back. They They've been doing very well with their marketing. They've been making quite a lot of noise. They are edgy. They are funny. Maybe they crossed some line and they had one of these accounts actually suspended. But the fact that all 5 accounts were immediately and together suspended just seems that it's improbable that one of them crossed the line or all of them at the same time crossed the line and they all received bans. It could even be a short amount of time that they're banned. Maybe it's a 7-day ban, a 7-day suspension, and they're gonna get their accounts back. So it's a bit messy. They've appealed already for those suspensions, and they're waiting for news. We're gonna learn. We're gonna learn what's happening. On that note, shall we just read together, go line by line, the white paper, the Y paper, not the white paper, the Y paper. Just a little bit understand what's going on here, and let's a little bit think about the numbers, a little bit about the dust, a little bit about who's getting and what and what's going on. So yeah, let's first of all remind everybody that the mint that has been announced, the mint date that has been announced, is 2nd of September. The applications have closed. They are still reviewing applications. They've been rejecting many, and all in all, I think there are about 1,000 to 1,500 spaces that have not been announced. They've they could possibly be already filled out, but haven't been announced through their Twitter account, especially now that's down, or they still haven't chosen, and they might not even have the time to announce another 1,000 names. But most probably, people are gonna check their applications and find out individually if they've been accepted or rejected. So 2nd of September, I personally, again, this is something that I have no information. This is me speculating. I think that if you're not some huge superstar at the moment, there's not going to be much chance for you getting your application through. Like it's gonna be now huge people only. Uh, I honestly don't know where this is going to stop. I'm not sure how they're going to continue with this crazy pump for whitelisting. There are whitelists that are going at the moment for 150 Solana because lots of whitelisted spots were actually allocated to DAOs that applied early, and those DAOs had to actually buy quite a lot of dust, and uh, they are pricing that the NFT is going to at least cost to mint $30, which is the price of dust now. Most probably it's going to go even higher since, yeah, there's not a lot of dust in circulation and people are going to be squeezed. If you go back on episode 133, I clearly say that, hey, this is a great dust play. Obviously, I never went through. I'd love to have gone through, but it's on stream. I said, even if you don't get the whitelist, you can quite make quite a lot of money just by buying dust, and you can play on the on the craze. At the same time, if you have a rejected application but you bought dust, you've already doubled your money, because if you bought dust during the first week, you actually paid about 12 Solana to buy the 325 375 dust, and at the moment is about 30 Solana. So you've made your money, you've doubled your money, and even if you don't make it through, and you're smart enough to sell before the actual event, the mint event, then you can be out with some profit, some free money from Frank and his team. Let me switch to the multi-stream chat, lovely friends, so I can see also the YouTubers. By the way, I'm drinking some Coca-Cola, nothing fancy, trying to get back into my non-beer streams where maybe I'll not get fat this year. So, shall we go through? Shall we go through the white paper? Should we just understand what they're building and see if there's any value? In order to find this paper, it's you go to y00ts. You don't go to scholarships. You go to y00ts. You go on the bottom left. You click on the paper, and you get this one. So, a common sense approach to NFT intellectual property, and how y00ts will be the greatest collection of profile pictures of all time. Bold prediction. So far, so good though. So far, so good. They're flirting with the top position, so I'm not gonna doubt the dream. So, what is this? Why? What is this? Why? So, why is our common sense version of copyright and ownership for NFTs? Think of why as a way of registering a copyright with an NFT collection being the governing body. When holders build businesses, sub-communities, and even fan art for an NFT, it typically drives more value and attention to the NFT. The current standards in the ecosystem don't really support it. Right now, we're usually offered IP rights on just our individual NFTs, just like Bored Ape Yacht Club, and Yuga Labs or CC0, where our NFTs are literally owned by the public domain. So what happens is that what he's saying here is that there is a company that owns the collection, and then that that owns the intellectual property of the collection, meaning that you can't really take the Bored Ape Yacht Club, and even if you own that Bored Ape and create a commercial, for example, without the okay from the company behind Bored Apes to use that copyright, even if you own the NFT and you paid 75 Ethereum and you actually bought that thing, you don't own the intellectual property. And on the Solana ecosystem, we saw this with the geckos, where they clearly had a statement in the that was the first thing you would see once you entered the Gecko's website, where they said that even if you hold the NFT, the intellectual property of those NFTs belong to the company behind the Geckos. That's that was clear, and this stands for every successful NFTs. So this is what they're trying to disrupt here. This is to disrupt here. This is what they're trying to change. This is the idea behind it. So now they're saying that each collection would have its own Y registry, where it's easy to track who's approved to be using the NFT's intellectual property. This allows projects to approve and reject users' requests at Web3 speed. We want to test this model with youths with an idea that would be only be possible by using the mechanism like Y. So what they're going to do is they're going to govern this let's call it like this collective. They're going to cover this collective. They're going to govern this collective that actually owns the intellectual property through the Y traits. And if someone wants to actually collaborate with youths and create some fan art, some traits, we're going to talk about, because artists will have the ability to create traits and actually sell NFTs with those traits. So if someone actually wants to create something that's using the brand of youths, they will need to hold a Y trait. That gives them the ability to monetize and actually control and be legal with like not legal, what's it called, to be in line with the terms and conditions of the use of intellectual property of youths. So TLDR, we create the youth store for we go to the immediately to the youth store. Okay, we create the youth store for artists to submit their custom versions of traits. Holders can also hire artists to do commissioned work for them. Artists who Artists will own the intellectual property of their work and collect a percentage of royalties. Holders can purchase the community created traits from the store, and artists can also set the traits to be free if they want. Holders can only apply one customized trait to their NFTs per month. The customized traits cannot change the shape, size, name of the trait. A t-shirt cannot be changed into a fur coat, and it must stay the same size. Meaning, if your ape is your ape, yeah, if your youth is wearing a purple shirt, you can't change that purple shirt to a brown fur. You need to change it to a golden shirt, for example. And this will not change the metadata, which means the metadata says that this is wearing a shirt and it's not wearing a coat, which means that you cannot apply a coat, which means even if you apply a coat, metadata will show it actually is wearing a shirt. So it will not allow this change. Community members can create and officially register sub-communities and sub-DAOs, and they can charge Sol for entry and collect a percentage of royalties on all sales. So we're gonna explain it. Let's go further down because it makes more sense as we go down, because it explains the youth store. Because we need to understand, like it says that you can apply one change of trait per month. So the idea is that in order, let's just go down because I think they're also giving an example. So we are creating the youth store, a marketplace of custom-made youth traits. So meaning that if you're an artist, you can create new traits. So you can change the cool glasses to some other type of, I don't know, with like cool goggles or some cool other kind of shades. Anyone can submit customizations of any of the original youth traits for approval. And now, how does one for the new traits? How does it get approved? Must fit the same space of the original trait. So when you put it on the actual picture, it doesn't cover other traits or it doesn't cover the NFT. And it needs to be, as we said, a t-shirt on a t-shirt and fur on fur. It must be identifiable by the original metadata, which means a hat cannot be a crown. Of course, no porn, no hate speech, no direct usage of existing copyright, and it must meet a standard of quality. Once approved, the individual that submitted will own the copyright, the Y for that specific trait, for that specific golden hat. The person who actually created and submitted that trait will own the copyright. Now, what does that copyright mean that you're owning it? It means that you can set the price of the trade in the store, meaning that if someone wants to buy that trade, so let's say that I have a huge that has a, 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 a bone pipe, a nice smoking pipe that's made out of bone. And there is some really cool artist that has created 5 golden pipes that are actually smoking some cool thing, and you can see the residue and this and that. And you feel like that this pipe would actually match the colors of the rest of your NFT much better. That would make it look so cool. You'd be able to go purchase that pipe, that new golden pipe, apply it to your NFT, and change it to have that golden pipe. And now the money that you actually spent for this actually goes to the person that holds that Y trait. So that Y, that you can think about it as a token. So if you hold that Y thing, it enables you to actually earn, uh, set the price, set the supply of the trade, so you can actually have only 5 golden pipes be available on the store. And once those 5 pipes are purchased, then there are no more golden pipes. So what happens is that your cool NFT now that owns that golden pipe that has only 5 available in the whole huge world has increased its rarity just because you bought a custom super rare trait. Another cool thing is that anybody who owns that Y can actually sell it to someone else. So let's say if you've actually created some amazing NFT that, I don't know, Coca-Cola wants it. Maybe it resembles Ronald McDonald, let's say. It resembles Ronald McDonald, and McDonald's is like, I need your youths to create in order to actually create a promotional campaign regarding NFTs and working in McDonald's. Lots of NFT enthusiasts are actually browsing the McDonald's employment forms. They're looking at the wages. It's part of the game. It's part of the game. So I can imagine a world where McDonald's is actually launching a campaign, and they want your really cool youth that has a complete McDonald's cashier's outfit, and they want to buy it. They want to buy the thing that you made. You can actually sell them the intellectual property. You can sell them the rights. You can sell them the rights, and you can just tell them, "Hey, I'm gonna sell you the rights for this uh, youth and this trait that I only own, and I can sell it to you for $15 million, 15 million Zimbabwe dollars." And McDonald's might say, "Yes, yes, yes, I might have 15 million Zimbabwe dollars," and then they actually exchange it, and McDonald's owns it, and Ronald McDonald is sporting a huge NFT. Never know. And of course, if you are the holder of the Y trade of a specific collection that is traded, and let's say let's assume that the of if your youth that has one of is under this Y collections umbrella, and it's traded in the marketplace every time you get a 5% on every sale from the royalties, just because you own that Y. Uh, it also kind of because of this Y trademark, they can actually protect a little bit the artists, and as they say here, if someone is trying to copy it and create something that's extremely similar and then attempts to list it on the marketplace, it's not going to be approved. Now, this kind of create your trades and list them on the store, and like think of the price, and then find how many in circulation of those trades are going to be. This is going to last only for 6 months. So after 6 months, no more user-generated trades will be added to the youth store. At this point, you'll be able to separate your youth into individual pieces. This means that you can sell your limited supply hoodie separately or swap it to another trade. So meaning maybe I'm going to I bought one of those super rare hoodies, I can then exchange it with another trade plus some salt or plus some dust with someone else that really wants that really rare trade that purchased a couple of months ago from the store. Uh, so it says that new trades in the youth store will only be added from limited supply collaborations with big clothing brands and lifestyle brands and all the shit. Then, how do you create this Y token? How does one person generate the ability to actually sell this intellectual property and actually get custom traits? Like, how many custom traits can you add? It says here you can hold up to 6 maximum Ys. And how do you get each Y? You can stake your youth, and for every 30 days that you're staking it, at the end of the 30-day period, you get a Y token, which means for every Y token that you hold, you can change the metadata, you can update the metadata once. Meaning that if you're changing the bone pipe to a golden pipe, you'll need a Y token. And how do you get those Y tokens? By staking your youth. So what you can do is actually stake the youth for 6 months, get the 6 traits, and then sell the youth with the 6 Ys on top of it. That should make the price skyrocket because this allows the person actually buying the youth to have the 6 slots open and ready without the need to stake it for 6 months. So you'll see that there is a new layer of game theory that's happening here. So if you never use the Y tokens, your youth will stack on it. So when you sell your youth at the probably premium for the tokens attached, just because you have six slots to change. How does Y make money? Within the Y registration, we think we can unlock several layers of monetization of every stakeholder involved. Independent one artist can make individual trade and create and charge solar dust for them. So let's say let's say Beeple comes and creates a one-on-one trade for a youth. I don't know, maybe it's a tooth. It says Beeple. And just one. It's just one. They can charge a lot of soul. They can charge a lot of soul for that. Now, is anybody gonna buy it? I don't know, but we're just going with what the paper is actually claiming. You can create fashion brands within the collection. Meaning, what if Prada comes out and creates a collection of 6 traits that they are like 10 copies of it, where you can actually, if you go really hardcore, you can buy the whole outfit, 6 out of 6, and be all Prada with the stripes, the red and green stripe, and the logos, and this is official Prada. And then you have, if you manage to actually imagine that, let's say there are 6 Prada traits, and the hat is has 10 copies, the shoes have 15 copies, and then there is like the purse that has 1 copy only, and then there's only one NFT that can possibly like have all of the Prada collection, just because one of the 6 items is limited to only 1 copy. So that really feels like the transmog days of World of Warcraft. And I'm not saying those like, let's go farm all dungeons and get shitty fucking transmog. I'm saying go to the black market auction house and wait for that removed from the game transmog, and then just bid every single player in the game, because all those black market auction houses are cross realm, meaning that people are coming from other continents to outbid you and try to get a complete set of a removed uh, Naxxramas kind of dungeon. Like, that's really hard, and this is what they're trying to replicate here. So if you have actually played a lot of World of Warcraft and you know how the transmog system works and the black market auction house works, you'll definitely understand what they're trying to do here. Another way that you can monetize it is do paid or free commission work for holders, meaning that let's say you can create a sub DAO where everybody that has a pirate hat is actually part of a workforce. I don't know, or there is like everybody's paying some money from the collection of that trait in order to have some artist create the rest of the set. Could be anything, and of course collect money from royalties, meaning that let's say we all come together and we create a grape outfit, and we connect that with our treasury, and any time a grape youth trait is added and then that youth being sold, the grape treasury gets a little bit of the royalties, and the royalties could be soul or could be dust. So yeah, artists are incentivized to sell their work on the youth store because if they get their own Y registration, they'll be able to collect royalties after the initial sale. And yeah, as we said, you need your Y registration. Uh, the real power behind Y is that it can supercharge the creation of clubs within communities. Someone that wants to start a sub community can use the youth store to find an artist and commission a custom set of traits with their logo, emblem, and register the club with Y. Now, the active community member can start their own club based on shared interests, memes, or anything else. The key is that since they own the Y on the entire set of traits, they can monetize this sub community. They can collect a piece of the royalties on every youth that sells with any of their traits. So they can charge upfront cost in soul and dust for the actual traits themselves. In conclusion, and this is the big disclaimer here, this is a rough approximation of how we believe this system can work. So there are three there are three uh like, hey guys, but ifs, hey guys, we might not even do this. uh they're experimenting. They experimented with the tax they had and then they canceled it, but in conclusion it says this is a rough approximation of how we believe this system can work. Open to criticism and seeing how this plays out. So, TLDR, TLDR. After Utes is actually sold and minted, for 6 months, we're gonna have a store with custom traits. Who can create those traits? Artists that create those traits then can actually connect those traits with a Y license. That Y license allows them to actually monetize and control the intellectual property of that specific range of traits that they were commissioned to make, they made, they whatever. This is going to last for 6 months, and then only huge organizations are going to be able to actually create limited amount of traits. So if someone is an artist, if someone has a good idea, the first 6 months is the months to actually work for it. Which 6 months also corresponds with the 6 months of staking required to actually get those Ys, which are enable you to create those custom traits or to exchange them for other custom traits. So the way I see it, and yeah, this, I think we went through the whole paper, guys, and there isn't much more. Uh, you can go just read it. It's tiny. It's a good idea. It's a good idea. It kind of, I think it's a little bit overblown at the moment. Um, it's gonna be a wild roller coaster. It's gonna go really high, guys. It's gonna go really high, and then guess what? Guess where it's gonna go? It's gonna go really low. It's gonna go really low, and then there's going to be another speculation. So we're gonna have this craze of everybody wants to buy a yacht, and everybody's gonna feel the FOMO, this irrational FOMO that you'll see on Magic Eden being listed, and the price going up, and the floor going up, and new dreams are gonna be made, and all dreams are gonna be shattered, and then the new dreams are gonna be shattered, and we're gonna go back to the old dreams, and then you know the drill, But yeah, whitelist is gonna be going crazy before the mint in a couple of days. The floor is going to go really high, especially for really rare trades. Just because, remember, if you get a really, really, really rare trade in 6 months, you'll be able to detach the trade and actually sell it in the open market. So you might actually keep the youth and recoup your investment just by selling the rare trade. So it kind of makes sense for someone to go for a really rare trade if you think that this kind of licensing and this kind of marketing will work out. Uh, so there is some thought put into this, but again, wild assumptions have been made, and it just assumes that every big brand will want to actually work with youths, and artists are going to go around and want to create traits, and then people are going to like those traits, those custom traits, and gonna spend extra money, extra soul, extra dust to apply it and make their youth even more unique, even rarer. Uh, mm, so after the initial pump, obviously we're going to see a dump. Now, I don't know how big the pump is going to be. I don't know how big the dump is going to be. Just I know it's going to go up and then it's going to go down. This is logical. You don't need to be a financial expert. You don't need to be a genius. You don't need to be in Mensa. Things go up, things go down. Then there is another pump promised in this paper. There is a pump that's going to come when the 6 months end, which means now scarcity kicks in. No new trades. You're going to have to exchange your Ys. People are going to have Ys. People are going to have expensive rare trades. And then we're going to see this kind of bubbling of new FOMO hitting in. And guess what? Then it's going to actually go down again. And if it is successful, if and even if it's partly successful, we're going to see another iteration. We're going to see another experiment. We're going to see another youth style of NFT that will be using the store, and most probably will also bring into the market new ways of getting those Y trades, new ways of spending those Y trades, new ways of actually profiting from those Y trades. So, in other words, a very small TLDR from all these things that we actually just talked about. I think it's gonna go well initially, really well, and I think this is a valuable experiment. This is the way to actually find the recipe for intellectual property and the management of intellectual property and actually owning the rights and trading the rights and compensating artists. I think this is a valid experiment. Is it gonna be successful? I doubt it. I doubt it. We're searching for it, and they are contributing to the search. So big up for this idea. What they've done amazingly is marketing. They are marketing geniuses. They are throwing money. They are throwing money in the right places. They are actually have a really good eye, and they are studying the market dynamics well, and they're creating great FOMO. The scholarship idea was amazing. It was beautifully executed. It was user friendly. It created huge FOMO, and just spreading it and announcing every winner in a personalized kind of way just gives an immense feeling of uniqueness, of being a superstar, being part of a community, being celebrated. I find it genius. I find it very well done. So yeah, good for them. Good for them. Now, should you buy a whitelist? No, my opinion. Again, of course, I might be wrong. I might be totally wrong, and I might be talking you out of financial freedom of generations to come. So please, just don't take any of this as financial advice, as NFT advice. This is just a madman that usually loses money online. So just don't follow. Please, 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 don't. Nobody's paying me. Like, I haven't had any my application accepted. I don't expect to have my application accepted. I don't even mind if I'd love the free money. Who the fuck doesn't want the free money? But I'd love also to be part of the community a little bit. They've been doing it so well. I want to see how they do it. I want to see where's the alpha, the community alpha, the DAO alpha. Like, how have they managed to be so successful? So I'd be interested in it. I'd be interested, but I don't think that I'm being paid. Don't think I have any more chances than you. And just, you do you. You do you. And yeah, I've never done a paid promotion. I've never received any. I've received thank you money, but I've never had any contractual obligation or had any reason to shield, or it wasn't anything that I uh, left not disclosed. Disclosed every single information. So back to our subject. What should you do? I think you should not buy. You should not buy any whitelist from a secondary market. I think you should you should try to mint, of course, if you can mint. If it doesn't sell out, remember it's 15,000 pieces. That's a lot of pieces. Every single god uh, gets a spot plus 5,000 more. And if you can mint, you should. Just don't spend 200 Solana trying to buy a whitelist. Don't do that. Don't do that. Then, if you don't manage to mint, don't rush it. Wait for it. The period is gonna pass. The FOMO is gonna pass. Youth is gonna get quiet. People are gonna forget. People are not gonna know what youth does, how these trades work, what happens in 6 months. Now you know. So since you know, just wait. At some point during those 6 months, you'll see an opportunity to buy. If you really want to get into this community, which again, give it some time. See how it goes. Join the Discord. See what goes. Like, go to the parties. Be on Breakpoint. Talk with other gods. Find Frank. Like, get understand the vibes of the community. And even if Frank remains unknown, like, find the doxed people there and just vibe with them. See if you like it. And if you do, just go buy. But just don't rush. Don't rush it. And there's going to be a good opportunity. There's going to be a good opportunity either during those 6 months where people are going to forget, maybe on month 3 or month 4. So a while before this, we start remembering that, hey, 6 months are ending, uh, or, or just wait a little bit more to see if this Y trademark is actually getting successful, and there's going to be more Y licensed NFT collections for sure, 100%. And and what's going on with Dust? Should you buy Dust? I don't think you should buy. I don't think you should buy Dust. No, actually, I'm pretty sure you should not buy Dust. I think that Dust is going to actually be sold. So no, think there are ways to actually mitigate this, but if they don't do anything, the Dust is going to be aggressively sold from the rejected application. So people that had 6 followers on Twitter and obviously had no chances of getting approved without Dust went out and bought Dust for their account. And then again, because there were like 40,000 applications on Utes, even if you had the 375 Dust, you did not get approved. So guess what you're going to do? You're going to go and sell the Dust a little bit before the mint date, just because now you've tripled your money, just because Dust has been going up. Now, post-event, Dust is going to go down. I would suggest if you're going to play the Dust game, just play with the 375 you already have. Now, going to buy now is dangerous. Why is it dangerous? Because if they don't do anything, the market is going to be flooded in the next 2 days with quite a lot of Dust. But they're smart enough, and hear me out on this one. They're smart enough to launch a secondary collection for those that have been rejected but have Dust in their wallets. So what the gods and the Dust Labs and Frank and Utes and Doopies, what these people really want to do is not let the rejected applications sell their Dust in the open market. They're gonna have to do something. So you're gonna need to keep your eyes open, because on the one hand, you can triple your initial money just by selling the Dust. On the other hand, you can play the game theory here, which says that there is no way they've thought about all these beautiful things and they haven't thought of this simple dynamic of market dynamic of rejected applications that bought Dust are gonna dump it en masse during or right before the mint date. So they're gonna have to come together and launch a secondary application which will again use the Y kind of uh, intellectual property rights thing that will only be eligible to be minted by those that had their applications rejected but held the 375. So two paths to choose from. Again, you should wait and keep your eyes and ears open for their announcement. Now, if the mint date is coming, is like 5 hours before mint date, mint time, and there's no announcement, I'll be selling my dust. But I'll wait until last moment. I'm confident they've thought about this and they've already prepared something to accompany the accepted applicants and have an alternative course of action for the rejected ones that hold dust. Again, speculation, full speculation from Whale's friend. No idea if this is reality or not. It's just what makes sense to happen. Once again, good job to the gods for creating this craze. Good job to the artists and this kind of personalization of traits. Great idea and experiment on intellectual property rights and its monetization and trade at the Web3 level. Uh, I wish them best of luck. I wish them best of luck, and I really hope they become the highest and number one collection in the world. Uh, I'm still, I'm still on the side that says that when Solana Monkey Business was 200 Sol with Solana $250. I mean, that was more valuable. That had a higher USD market cap. Of course, now it has a higher Solana market cap. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Anybody has any questions about the gods, about the white paper, about the Y trademark, about what's going on? Just hit me with questions, lovely friends. Hit me with questions, and if you don't have any questions now, just understand that I'm like always chilling on the Neanderthal cave, so you can come here and you can talk to me. You can ask me, hey man, you're wrong. This is not how the marketplace is going to work. And please, 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 if I got something wrong, help me out, correct me. I respond really well on criticism. I have no issues, and I have no hills that I'm willing to die on. So please, 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 just come educate me. I'm chilling on the Neanderthal cave. Fuck my life. I've been talking for 1 hour about bear market and youths. Sorry guys if I got you bored from that this subject. I think it's a fun subject because market is crashing and the gods is killing it. NFTs are like huge. Solana is actually working really well. Have you noticed like the transactions per second are like at insane numbers at constant rates? Another thing, they really need to make sure this is a flawless and a good experience during the mint. Like youths needs make sure that they're not flooded by bots. This is extremely, extremely important. Extremely important. Uh, whew. What else did we say we need to talk about? Like I forgot. Oh yeah, guys, did you see this? End of youth stuff. Like next subject. Parenthesis. Did you see this fucking like mistake that they did? Optify. Optify was the fourth place on the Riptide Hackathon on the DeFi uh, on the DeFi track. So they got fourth place, and options the derivatives DEX with delta neutral option market, market making vault, an automated vault where they take a neutral position. Whatever. Complicated derivatives on extremely risky, uh, multi-layer cryptocurrency shitcoins. Does not matter. What's funny is that these guys closed by accident the program, the smart contract that actually had the money. So what they did is like they lost access to it. They closed it. It's like all the money when you close an account, it's done. You don't have access. You can't recreate that path. So they used the close account command, and they actually lost 661,000 United States dollars. It's funny. That's the Solana thing. As like if you haven't seen that, it's really fucking funny, and it's weird. Like they got sloppy. They rushed it. They didn't know the repercussions of closing an account, and this is what happened. I think it's hilarious. Like, and I'll come clean. I'll come clean, and I've say like I've done mistakes like that, and I've closed an account, and I've used an old account, a Serum account, which then I closed, and I had 10,000 USDC in that account. I closed it, so I know the pain. I've never lost 660,000 by closing it, but I'll come clean, and I closed an account with 10K USDC from the old accounts, from the old Serum accounts that are unretrievable because just an old version. Uh, when so what used like closed it, like they closed the program, but I did a similar mistake where you actually you used to create a wallet on Serum, and that wallet used to actually never give you a private key. And the moment you used to close that account, which theoretically you could just open it again by sending a token and recreating this account, and it would restore your connection to this token. The moment I closed it, because it was the old version of Solana addresses, it immediately got, let's say, reassigned to some other random private key. So like, I can send you some details. It happened a bit over a year ago. It happened in June 2021 when I was playing with maybe even earlier, when I was playing with the wallet. So this cannot happen anymore in the user side of things. But if you're running a smart contract that and you have a program controlling an address and you don't have the keys for that address for safety reasons, you actually close that. It's impossible to close account. Now, what happened exactly? They have a detailed write up on what happened. Here, I'll send it to you guys. Interesting. Here you go. And it says what happened. The command, but it really explains. It really explains in detail how what they did. Solana program close. Uh, Cheers, lovely friends. Cheers, lovely friends. I really wanted to talk about Grape and some cool stuff that Grape is actually doing. Again, change of paragraphs. Let's talk about Grape shit and DAO stuff. Uh, I really wanna make some noise regarding the bounty program that Grape has started every Tuesday at what is it, 12 o'clock UTC. We have a bounty call where there is a bounty committee, and everybody from the community actually uh, submits bounties. And if those bounties are good, they're gonna approved by the committee. And if those bounties are actually completed, the person who drafted that bounty gets a reward. And there are so many bounties at the moment being proposed, and I can see how grape is actually creating value. I wanted to go through each and every bounty. I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna do this. We don't have enough time. We've already gone, like, it's already 1.5 hours, close to 1.5 hours into the show. But I'm gonna share with you what's happening. This is the a proof of concept, and this is another bounty. So, for example, I'm going to post for you bounty one, just for you to get an idea of what's happening. So bounty one can be read on discourse, and this is something that was approved and posted today, 11 hours ago, by Dean Machine. And this is, we need people to propose formulas for reputation. We are working closely with several developers in order to create a system for DAO reputation. And we have workshops, and we are actually ironing out details. And we have all these amazing different categories of how reputation is going to be given to a DAO and to a DAO member, and if the holdings are going to play a role, the emissions and the use of the token emissions, the attendance of each member in the calls, the participation in governance programs like realms or squads, the participation in events, the creation of proposals that are adding value. Like, there are so many little things. So if you're interested in DAO dynamics and reputation, and you want to avoid this plutocratic system of whoever holds the most coin has the highest, the, the strongest voice, the loudest voice, and we want to avoid this plutocratic system with the the only weight for your vote is your pocket. So we're trying to develop this reputation system. So I encourage everybody to actually join the calls, join the bounty calls, join the reputation workshops that you'll find here. If you go to mini updates, mini updates, or it's announcements. Yeah, it's announcements. So we've been voting for which day the reputation workshop is going to happen. It looks like 6th of September is the most popular. 6th or 7th of September are the two most popular choices, and I encourage everybody to be there. If you wanna change how DAOs actually rate their members, it's a great opportunity. And I also wanna shout about this bounty that, yeah, it's fun. This is a fun thought exercise that can actually make you some money. And I also want to briefly touch upon the proof of concept that myself is Whale's friend is actually trying to explore. So if you go on the DAO and you go here, proposal for reward distribution proof of concept, uh, I'll uh, I'll send you this link because it's a fun thing. So what this bounty is doing is creating a way to reward successful proposals that move forward the community. So what we want is to create an instruction that will lock a bunch of voting power, and then, depending of how many successful proposals have been made by individual addresses, will reward those addresses depending on the amount of proposals done for that period. So if let's say that we reserve 1 million grape for the month of September, and we have 10 successful proposals during that month from 10 different addresses. This means that every address will get 100,000 grape. And this actually creates dynamics for mercenary votes that can be added to a marketplace. This amplifies the voice of those that are actually adding value by creating popular and positive proposals that pass and are voted yes and are connected to a instruction. This really pushes uh, the any member to reach the threshold to allow themselves to propose on chain. It really makes the ability to create proposals valuable, and it really encourages people to keep their voting power in order to even support their own proposals for their own friends or their own mentors or very respected community members. So, or even just uh, rent out this kind of voting power through some kind of futuristic voter marketplace, mercenary voter marketplace. So this was a discussion that we had today on the bounty call and the DAO call. These discussions are extremely interesting. We had a lovely friend from Civic also join us and talk to us about their unique identity attempts to have it on a proof of identity and a proof of uniqueness. And I can see the value of all these experiments, and I can see the value of keeping an open mind and a blank canvas for people to experiment. I see Beat is actually saying curve convex method. Uh, yes and no. Yes and no. This is again. This is completely new. This is completely new. Yes, convex is going to be relevant in this example, but there is no locking here. There's no, oh, I've locked my convex and I'm receiving I've locked my curve and I can represent that weighted extra governance power from my convex. You don't need that. You don't need that. Just because you don't need to lock them in order to utilize their power. Just because you'll have the the ability to steer and influence the outcome of so many votes that actually uh, allow the community to move forward. You have an incentive to to stay active without the need of time locks, and and I think it needs to be encouraged, and I think we need to shame those that are selling. So I'm having ideas about a shame bot where it taps into the Grape database, on-chain database, and finds the Discord ID connected to that address, and if that person is a registered Grape member that is selling Grape, should say, hey, he's selling his voting power. Make sure not to award him anymore. Yeah, because this is all about voting power, and we want people to have enough tokens to actually propose. And if this becomes a reality, I'm going to make proposals to send tokens to people that don't have the amount required to make proposals because I want them to play. I respect them, and I want them as players in this game. And I want to see where this is going to go, and I want to see if this is going to encourage people participating even more and creating proposals that are a net positive for the community, and I want to see what the community's response to that. I want to see what kind of fanboyism we have. I want to see what kind of cult figures we have that are going to propose shitty things and the community is going to agree with them. And I want to see how people that are maybe not respected will have the ability to bring something on the table. And yeah, who are you? Like, even if you don't like the person, are you gonna really vote no to something that brings value to the community just out of spite? Huh? Are you gonna cut your nose? So yeah, I think we should punish those that are selling their voting power, and we should actually make sure we don't assign any more voting power. So if these guys are actually selling it. I don't think we should assign anymore because this is not an asset to speculate on. This is a way to govern a community of people. So I'm against giving voting power to people that are actually selling it, and I'm really pro at giving voting power to those that are actually bringing valuable proposals. So in that on that note, I want to ask for people to go and vote. If you have grape, go to this address and vote. Vote yes, vote no. I don't know what you're gonna do. Lots of people have actually voted, and you'll see that grape is a real DAO. You can explore the actual vote here, and you'll see that look, this person that holds 2.6 million actually voted yes on this. And it only makes sense. It only makes sense. Uh, and I see also, I can see this is me, I can see this is Taki, and I can see this is the biggest wallet. I have no idea we don't know who this person is. You see, like, I know this guy is Dean. Uh, yeah, Yeah, yeah. I see. Like the only people that have voted are the three wallets. I see some smaller wallets here as well, 45,000. But the three wallets that have voted is this unknown whale that holds 2.6 million, me and Taki. Uh, the rest of the grape team, Dean hasn't voted. The developers, the DAO board, nobody has voted, and it looks good. It looks good. So I encourage all of you to go and vote, try it out, and if you have any second thoughts, again, just reach out, just join the Neanderthal channel and talk to me and tell me all about your thoughts and what's the issue. Realms is getting pretty, and I have to say, like so many cool proposals and instructions connected to instruction. Look at this. There is a new transaction now that you can stake on a validator. Stake on a validator. You select here 10 Solana. You select the validator address. You can go to the jump capital. So you go here. You go jump crypto validator. Oh no. Should this be here? This is the validator, the Certus. You can go here. You can take this. You can go to Grape. Here you go. Yeah, this is the validator vote address. You leave the seed 0, and the amount is the amount of Sol you want to stake. Let's say I want to stake 1 Solana. Stake 1 Sol to jump validator, and yeah, this is to stake it. And you can just say add proposal and it will just propose, and if it passes, then one Solana is gonna be taken from this awesome huge treasury and be staked on the Solana validator, and then you'll be able to unstake from a Solana validator, withdraw validator stake, deactivate stake, and you can do all these things. You can do all these things. It's getting fancy, it's getting more functionality, and we are just experimenting with new features. So what I'm proposing here, the distributor, this is a new instruction. Do they have multi keys now? They do have they have multi keys, but there are so many little things, like even the mango vaults work, the ones that you can actually lock your tokens for VE tokens that have increased voting power, and you can lock them for X amount of times. There's so many new things. It's and as you see, what I'm proposing is a new functionality. It's a completely new functionality. Where was it? Lost it. Doesn't matter. Here. Yeah, we can read it once together in case you understand it. So the proposal for reward distributor context: the Grape DAO wants to encourage the submission of value-adding proposals on chain. We want to be able to distribute reward with voting power grape to all successful proposals in order to increase the appeal of submitting them in real. This proposal aims to provide more incentives for people to participate in grape governance while at the same time keep things moving forward for the grape DAO. So the instructions should look like what I'll describe now. Create a new proposal and select the instruction proposal rewards. Choose the duration for the event, for example 30 days. Choose the amount of grape that will be rewarded at the end of those 30 days, for example 1 million. Choose the realms vault that hold that asset, so point it to 1 million grape, to the grape holding vault, which is part of the many treasuries that the DAO has on realms. And then you need to submit that proposal to be voted on. Assuming that everybody votes yes and this proposal is accepted, uh, what happens? The program will hold that 1 million grape for the duration that we chose. So it will hold it for 30 days, for 1 month. At the end of this period, the program will distribute grape to the addresses connected to all successful proposals that include at least one instruction. The amount of grape sent to each address should follow the formula amount of grape in the program, so 1 million grape, divided by the number of successful proposals during that period, which means if we had 10 successful proposals during that 1 month and the amount of grape to be rewarded is 1 million, 100,000 grape will be rewarded to each proposal. If it's 20 proposals, then it's 50,000 grape on each. For example, 30-day duration event with 1 million grape locked. The assumption is that 20 successful proposals were submitted on realms during those 30 days, and at the end of the 30 days, the program distributes 50,000 grape to every successful proposal. So this doesn't need any external connection with realms. This is a self-feeding information loop. So grape is held on the vault, on the program, and then the program just checks itself of how many successful proposals. So you don't need information from outside, you don't need oracles, you don't need, this is very simple. This is just a simple function that could be added and could really be game changing. And the idea is we're going to do it manually, see if it works or if it has any huge game theoretic flaws. And if it doesn't, we're just going to go proceed and fund it and say, look, whoever makes this a plugin for realms, whoever actually enriches this drop down menu with more instructions and creates this instruction will receive example, nothing solid here, 3,000 USDC. So you make this if you are in a hackathon, if you are in a hacker house, if you are in class, I have no idea, if you want to do as proof of concept, and actually get the money. Bit is asking, is there no plan to cap grape? Grape is capped at 1 billion coins, and the way the way to actually distribute grape has changed completely. There's no new grape actually hitting the market. All the grape is actually gets into a treasury in the DAO, and the only way for that grape to be distributed is for the DAO to vote it out. So there is really high friction. It's really hard to get grape out in the market, and yeah, grape is already capped at 1 billion coins, and I don't think that yeah, it's been 8 months now, and I think outside some small emissions, about 1 million grape has been distributed. So pretty good, lovely friends, pretty good. I think this is a really fun experiment, and yeah, I encourage everybody to vote and think about it, think about the game theory behind it. That's it. We're over the 1.5 hour mark. I really don't understand how time flies so fast. Like, thank you for listening to me. Thank you for being curious and actually uh, shitcoining with me and making it all together all this way down the bear market. Let's not stop here. Let's not stop here. Let's not get shaken out. Let's continue fighting to find that alpha. Lovely friends, I'm gonna let you be. I'm gonna see you tomorrow. If you want, you can join the spaces. We're gonna have a fantastic spaces with meta crafters. We're gonna talk about their platform and how you can utilize it to actually learn lots of nice things. And yeah, I think it's gonna be fun. We're gonna see each other on Whales Tales episode 135 next Tuesday. I think it's gonna be a really fun episode. We can look back at youths and see what went down. We can talk a little bit about new proposals, and we can obviously talk about any shenanigans that happen in between. Lovely friends, you keep me young, you keep me smiling, you keep me winning, and I'll never abandon you. Thank you once again for being here. Please read the white paper, the Y paper. uh, really read that, understand how youths experiment works, how the youth story is going to work, what they're trying to accomplish, how the timeline looks. Think about the game theory, the pitfalls, and what's the optimal way of moving. It's an experiment. It might be miserably unsuccessful. It might be greatly successful, and it might provide generational wealth. I highly doubt it, but you do you, I do me. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay lovely, stay beautiful.